Whether you think you can, or you think you can't, you're right. Anyone who stops learning is old, whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. If everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. When everything seemed to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. Thinking is the hardest work there is, which is probably the reason so few engage in it. Any customer can have a car painted any color that he wants so long as it is black. Quality means doing it right when no one is looking. Coming together is the beginning. Keeping together is progress. Working together is success. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal. There is no man living who isn't capable of doing more than he thinks he can do. You can't learn in school what the world is going to do next year. The only real security that a man can have in this world is a reserve of knowledge, experience and ability. I see no advantage in these new clocks. They run no faster than the ones made 100 years ago. A business that makes nothing but money is a poor business. There are three things that grow more precious with age: old wood to burn, old books to read, and old friends to enjoy. To do more for the world than the world does for you, that is success. A business absolutely devoted to service will have only one worry about profits. They will be embarrassingly large. Even a mistake may turn out to be the one thing necessary to a worthwhile achievement. There is joy in work. There is no happiness except in the realization that we have accomplished something. Genius is seldom recognized for what it is, a great capacity for hard work. An idealist is a person who helps other people to be prosperous. I cannot discover that anyone knows enough to say definitely what is and what is not possible. We try to pay a man what he is worth, and we are not inclined to keep a man who is not worth more than the minimum wage. To see a thing clearly in the mind makes it begin to take form. It is not the employer who pays the wages. Employers only handle the money. It is the customer who pays the wages. Money doesn't change men, it merely unmasks them. If a man is naturally selfish or arrogant or greedy, the money brings that out, that's all. That the devil finds work for idle hands to do is probably true. But there is a profound difference between leisure and idleness. Do you want to know the cause of war? It is capitalism, greed, the dirty hunger for dollars. Take away the capitalist, and you will sweep war from the earth. It is not usual to speak of an employee as a partner, and yet what else is he? Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. To teach that a comparatively few men are responsible for the greatest forward steps of mankind is the worst sort of nonsense. The one aim of these financiers is world control by the creation of inextinguishable debt. The natural thing to do is to work, to recognize that prosperity and happiness can be obtained only through honest effort. Speculation into thing already produced that is not business. Power and machinery, money and goods, are useful only as they set us free to live. It has been my observation that most people get ahead during the time that others waste. Time waste differs from material waste in that there can be no salvage. The competitor to be feared is one who never bothers about you at all, but goes on making his own business better all the time. If you need a machine and don't buy it, then you will ultimately find that you have paid for it and don't have it. I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Everything is in flux, and was meant to be. Life flows. We may live at the same number of the street, but it is never the same man who lives there. Exercise is bunk. If you are healthy, you don't need it. If you are sick, you should not take it. And when a man is really at work, he needs no title. His work honors him. Skepticism, if by that we mean cautiousness, is the balance wheel of civilization. The end of money is not ease but the opportunity to perform more service. We get some of our best results by letting fools rush in where angels dare to tread. If a device would save in time 10% or bring about results worth 10%, then its absence is worth 10%. The difficulty is not in finding men to advance but men willing to be advanced. Without scientific study, An employer does not know why he is paying a wage and the employee does not know why he is getting it. Buying ahead of requirements does not pay. Any wins are negated later down the line. A man ought to be able to live on a scale commensurate with the service that he renders. Given a good idea to start with, it is better to concentrate on perfecting it than to hunt around for a new idea. One idea at a time is about as much as anyone can handle. Business is never as healthy as when, like a chicken, it must do a certain amount of scratching for what it gets. You are not saving when you prevent yourself from becoming more productive. Politics in the true sense have to do with the prosperity, peace and security of the people. The only true test of values, either of men or of things, is that of their ability to make the world a better place in which to live. If we had more justice, there would be less need of charity. When everything seems to be going against you, remember that the airplane takes off against the wind, not with it. The time for a businessman to borrow money, if ever, is when he does not need it. The biggest goal can be achieved if you simply break it down into enough small parts. You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do. There are no big problems, there are just a lot of little problems. Chop your own wood and it will warm you twice.